absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for. I watch people get stuck and frozen, and that breaks my heart. I was once stuck and frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
Love it! Welcome to The Real Raw, everyone. How's everybody doing? I hope it's great. This is the place where we get to see and experience how influence is a superpower. The Real Raw offers us The Real Raw offers us a stage for ecosystem, microphone, a stage for ecosystem, more money and less time, with more magic. And all thanks to Sean's creating for the past 23 years, creating for the past 23 years, so that we can reap the benefits, and Sean, so that we can reap the benefits, and Sean, we can't see your face from that angle, but welcome, Sean, the visionary of Unblinded, national speaker, philanthropist, one of America's top trial attorneys, and the visionary of Unblinded, and though he is micros here to unblind us, and how we can all go from hello to yes, and how we can all go from hello to yes in any leaders, and leaders can be leaders, and make the world a more heart-centered place.
Thank you, Vivian. Camera angle okay at this point? Thank you, Vivian. Camera angle okay at this point?
It's not because the light is behind you. It's not because the light is behind you. So you need to flip.
We're going to move back and forth to show a little bit of the background. We're going to move back and forth to show a little bit of the background, but we'll be okay for now. So even the front lighting is not making it here. So it's all good. So thank you everybody for being here. I will do it in a little bit. Vivian gets very clear with background lighting when my face is not as clear with background lighting. I am so grateful. I appreciate that. How are you today, Vivian? I am so grateful for you. And how are you today, Vivian? Did we lose Vivian? Did we lose Vivian?
I heard you.
Okay.
So did I freeze for a second? Is that what you said?
Did
I freeze for a second? Is that what you said?
You moved into the vortex. Right.
But I am back.
So let's get rolling. How are you using at 5 folks? So let's get rolling with our amazing at 5 folks for
do it. We have Diana. Let's do it. We have Diana. Our contestant. She is a native from Uruguay in South America. She is a native from Uruguay in South America. She's the founder of her company, where she trains full potential to master and align their bodies, to master and align their bodies, minds, and hearts, to accelerate their success and experience more fun in their lives. Impact. Diana's passion is to Latinos around the world. 40 million Latinos around the world. She aims to empower Latinos, helping them crush massive successes, and turning them into massive successes. For she believes this will transform future generations.
Diana, welcome.
Welcome, Diana.
Thank you so much.
Diana,
it's great
welcome.
to be here. Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Excited. When last we met, excited. We were like riding pirate ships. We were like riding pirate ships on burning fears and fires, going in the ocean, burning fears and fires, going in the ocean at night. And that was. Did you have some of the ice cream implementation, Diana? Did you have some of the ice cream implementation, Diana?
I went to pick up the bucket myself at the ice cream shop. Holding it.
That is outstanding and amazing. Yes. So thank you for that, and welcome, Diana. Thank you for that, and welcome, Diana.
Fun fact is that I have an acting background. Fun fact is that I have an acting background. White and I had a white standing statue around the world for about 7 years. That I took around the world for about 7 years.
That is amazing, and your energy is amazing, and your energy is present, and we are grateful for you.
Thank you. Me too. I'm happy to be here. So grateful.
So grateful for having you. Vivian, we have Diana, we have street performing around the world, but of course, more importantly, the impact that she's creating. But wait, there's more.
Yes, we have Jason Cisneros in the house, aka the Bold Avenger, is chairman of Anton J Global, a world-class consulting company. He is also the host of the Bold Avenger show and podcast, a speaker, and a comedian for a cause devoted to the fight against child trafficking, domestic violence, and feeding the hungry. So welcome, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Jason,
glad to be here. I'm amazing, brother. I'm amazing. Just came off a stage. We're here at an event in Phoenix, and when I found out you needed a contestant, I was like, anything Sean needs, I'm there.
Well, thank you so much, and super grateful for that. And what are you up to in Phoenix?
Speaking at an event called Think, React, Lead. And it's nice to be on stage again and to be with a room full of people. It's really great.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad that Phoenix is rocking, and congratulations on that. And how about an awesome fun fact?
Fun fact. I have done some jail time in my life.
That is a really fun.
I want to know all about this, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Back when I was younger. I was raised in a family. My adopted father went to prison for trying to kill me when I was 17, and I did what I knew, right, which is what a lot of people do until they figure out why they were born, and a lot of that adversity and things that I went through ended up leading into why we go undercover and rescue little girls around the world, and why we work so heavily into domestic violence.
Well, Jason, brother, very grateful for that, for your presence, for your energy, and thanks for being here.
Yep. Thanks for asking me to be here. Appreciate it. My pleasure.
Vivian, so we're rocking it with Jason and Diana, who, by the way, Diana doubles as Captain Marvel. Story for a little later. But Vivian, who are our judges?
Well, we also have Michael De La Donna in the house, aka the closer. He will teach you how to present, sell, and close. That's why he's considered the master of the straight line sales method. And that's why he's the president of New Rock Spirits, creating closers daily. And get this, he's written 8 books, including his best-selling autobiography, Can I Have Your Money? You may not, Michael. However, he's also the author of an award-winning novel, The Making of a God. Plus, he's the host of the Edge podcast, where he covers the gamut from sports to fashion. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. The Making of a God. So let's first drop in on a fun fact, and I would love to know more about that. How about a fun fact, please, Michael?
I don't have many. Kind of a boring guy. I just kind of work. But I've written 8 books, as she said. I've won a couple of awards for the books.
Awesome. Anybody that would write a book called The Making of a God has to be somewhat fun, Vivian. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really not about what you may think. It's about how these guys become televangelists and rip people off.
Oh, very interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, but I guess my fun fact is I was one of the top brokers at Stratton Oakmont, which many of you may have never heard of, but I'm sure you heard of the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that's Jordan Belfort's firm, right?
Right. Yeah, I worked for Jordan. Actually, I worked for Jordan even after Stratton went down, training people how to close.
Wow, dude, that's fun. Like, what was the?
Yeah, I have a blast. It's my anti-personality, right? When I'm on stage, very dynamic, very animated, but it's what it is.
So, Michael,
well, don't be shy now. Bring it today,
Michael.
Oh
no, I'm just learning how to go maneuver through this.
Yeah, all good. What was the craziest thing? I'm not asking anything criminal. The craziest thing that you saw, though, because that would be fun. Like the craziest thing you saw
over there?
Yeah, on the Wolf of Wall Street dynamics. Yeah.
Oh, just the bachelor parties were legendary. And in mixed company, I won't go into what goes on, but they were phenomenal. They lasted 3 or 4 or 5 days. You forgot where you were.
I would imagine that those were definitely odd times. So let me ask this question then, since we're present to it. Something I believe, I'm curious, this is like a great access point, is that when we hit a negative vibrational energy, and we're using stimulants and dynamics and we're taking it tends to, I think, lend itself towards negative behavioral patterns. That's just something I happen to believe strongly in. I'm curious of how that comes up for you, having been at Stratton, doing the work that you do now in the world. Like, how do you feel about positive and negative and positive vibrational dynamics between human beings? Like, what say you about that?
I think it's all up to the person who's doing the sale, right? You have to control not only the pitch, but what the response is going to be, and creating the mood or the setting for the individual that you're selling, right? Because at the end of the day, you want them to buy from you. You don't want to have to feel like you're selling them. And so that's basically how I used to train people to ask questions so that they ask the question back to you. It only has 2 answers. And you already know the answer to both. So you're going to lead them down the path, but you want them to be happy. Obviously, if they're unhappy, it makes the sale a lot harder. And if you can control them mentally, which you try to do, right, by asking the right questions to bring them along the way, then yeah, I agree. Negative energy is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Even when I was at Stratton, just so you know, I was one of the few guys that really wasn't heavy into the drugs. I mean, that's why I did so well.
Yeah. And by the way, I hold there's no blame or judgment, right?
No. And listen, I'm the only guy that went to a major firm. I went to Morgan. I went to Smith Barney. Morgan Stanley paid me 7 figures to leave Smith Barney, come to Morgan. So, I mean, I've taken 17 companies public. So, you know.
Awesome, brother.
I'm not worried about judgment anymore.
Yeah.
I've passed that stage of life.
Yeah, very cool. And how about for you? Like, how do you perceive integrity? What role do you perceive integrity playing in the influencing process of going from hello to yes with people?
On my part or on the part of the company?
On the part of just life. You know,
I think integrity is important, right? I mean, that's all when you're a salesperson, all you have is your name, right? Especially if you're not with a major firm. So if you screw up, your name goes into the mud, right? So you got to make sure that what you do is right, is proper. I mean, you don't have to be right all the time, but you have to believe you're right? And you got to do your homework to make sure especially if you're raising capital or something of that nature, that you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, well, aligned, brother. All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Michael. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, we have Michael. We have Wolf of Wall Street, like sort of tentacles in the dynamic. We have like Captain Marvel. Like we're sitting with Jason, who's like changing lives, and fun fact is like prison dynamics. This is an incredibly unique day on The Real Raw. We're having some fun.
Unique. And it continues to get more colorful. We have Michelle Mayman, is a real estate agent, investor, coach, cancer survivor, and mom extraordinaire of 3 daughters. She's a top producer and team leader for the Lotus Group with Keller Williams, serving thousands of clients in over 2 decades. She is a 6-year cancer survivor and recently founded Bonfire Souls, a company that bridges her passion for real estate with her heart for giving back to cancer patients and survivors. Bonfire Soul's mission is to help real estate agents 6-figure their businesses so they can 7-figure their wealth, all while supporting coaching to cancer patients and college scholarships to cancer survivors. So welcome, Michelle Mayman.
Michelle, thanks for being here today. And my stepmom is a breast cancer survivor, and I appreciate the work that you're doing in the world.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And so happy for her. So blessed to have her be on this side of the table and be a survivor. So,
well, thank you so much. And so, Michelle, how about a fun fact from you?
So I'm going to tag on to Jason's fun fact.
You've been in prison too?
I have been in prison because I used to work with men who are coming out of prison and reintegrate them back into the community. So,
awesome.
So yes, so I've been to prison too as a guest.
Well, I appreciate that as well. And your work today and what you stand for in the world is what are you up to in terms of your message and working with people with cancer? How does that show up, and what's the work that you're doing?
So the work that I'm doing, I spent a long time actually, Sean, trying to figure out how do I monetize my life, scale my return on my time investments so that I could leverage time to help cancer patients and survivors for free. So I would say that's probably about a 1.5 year journey that all came to a head in the last few months with a really, awesome mentor. And so I coach real estate agents and agents that want to be investors. And because I do that in a group format, I'm able to leverage my time and then one-on-one work with, and I say coaching cancer patients, but sometimes it's really, my degree is in social work and psychology. So sometimes it's using that knowledge. It's really meeting them where they're at in a no filter approach. So there's no, you can drop the F-bomb with me if you feel like it. You can talk about God. You can talk about Buddha. We can have just a no filter conversation, meeting them where they're at. But my purpose is, I understand that hope and faith can take you through some of the toughest times. And sometimes when medical results fail you, sometimes hope and faith is all you got. And sometimes holding on to that is really, really tough. But when you got someone that's, you know, sitting there next to you, that's kind of tethering the hope and faith to you and saying, I know this is hard and you can do it. It just makes it a little bit easier. So whether I'm doing that because their new normal is going to be fantastic, or because they're going to spend the last few months on Earth in a way that serves them, it's really just about being there for those people in the way that they need me to show up.
That's extraordinary. Thank you for sharing that so much. Truly, truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
And where are you physically in the world today?
I am in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is in the house. Badger country. Welcome. Okay. Vivian.
We have Victoria Grinman in the house, AKA the trauma specialist. She believes in the quote by Marcel Proust, "We are healed of a suffering only by experiencing it to the full." Her mission is to help support parents, parents-to-be, and couples become the best version of themselves so they in turn are the best to all those around them, which is why she's the founder and psychotherapist at Growing Kind Minds, a private practice that serves children, adolescents, families, and groups, and provides a platform to share resources, information, and tools. As a doctorate candidate, her research focuses on trauma, post-traumatic growth, resilience, parenting, and autism. And she's an international speaker, plus she holds lectures at her alma mater, Columbia U and Boston College in the graduate programs. Welcome, my dear Victoria.
And that was amazing.
Victoria, when you first had Vivian, shouldn't Vivian be with you wherever you go in the world, number one? Number two, roar, lions, roar. Welcome, Columbia Lion.
Thank you. Well, you know, it's funny because I was speaking to Lily, who was going to update my bio, and then she's like, well, wait a minute, Vivian rewrote it. What do you think? And I'm like, can Vivian go with me everywhere?
Vivian is utterly amazing and beyond. So really Victoria, welcome. And how about a fun fact?
Sure. I'm running out of fun facts every time I do this, but I'm going to go with Diana's lead and say that many moons ago, I was at LaGuardia Performing Arts, and I was in the performing arts field for a really long time, and I'm a classically trained singer.
I want to hear you sing something.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're up for it, we don't want to put any pressure, but if you want to step in, that'd be great.
Oh man. I'm not ready to do that.
Okay, then wait. So we don't want no pressure ever on the Real Raw. Thank you for being here. But what song, if you're going to belt out a few notes, what would you like to sing?
Oh man. Well, if I was not suffering from this cough that every time because David and I we have a cough that's lasted a good 3 weeks. So I'm actually getting checked out every time I breathe. But what I would sing would be Home from Beauty and the Beast. I was a classically trained singer that had hopes to be on Broadway for the rest of my career. And I did a lot of off-Broadway. So I would probably sing Home from Beauty and the Beast, which is one of my favorite songs.
Beauty and the Beast.
Well, look at Vivian dropping in. So that's
beautiful, Vivian.
Diana's ready to start dancing. Like we're ready to start having a party here. And I know Michael would definitely want to start dancing, going back to like Stratton days, Vivian. It'd be truly amazing.
Go back to disco.
Yes, back to disco. Studio 54. Steve is in the house, his buddy from Studio 54, ready to rock, checking the door, who's going to get in or not. So Victoria, final, right? For today, as we get rolling. If you were to have a choice, right? Between working at Showplace Ice Cream, which was not open in Long Beach Island there, that serves ice cream singing in a constant and never-ending show, or working in Manhattan, right, at what is it, Showplace in Manhattan? No, what's the place that is the singing ice cream place in Broadway?
The diner?
Ellen Stardust Diner, yes. So you work at Showplace in LBI or Ellen Stardust Diner. Ellen's is like sing a song here and there, but you get like a solo off Broadway. Showplace is like doing shows nonstop together with everybody. What would your choice be?
Nonstop. And at Adelphi University, when I was undergrad, I did a career assessment, and I was told that I should be a singing telegram based on my career assessment. I would do that full time. Yes, that would be my choice.
Well, that is utterly extraordinary. Utterly extraordinary. And I'm feeling the rush of that, Victoria. Wink, wink. And welcome for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, Vivian, we have a role player.
Yes, we have the one and only sweetest human on the planet, aka the most amazing soul, Andres Rivera Hurtado.
Oh, Andres is in the house. What's up, brother? How are you?
All is great.
Muchas gracias, mi hermano. So,
Sean is speaking Spanish? What?
Vivian, ¿qué pasó con Andres?
Lo que pasa is that Andres is a trailblazer, a mindset coach, a sales trainer, entrepreneur, and a competitive tennis player who is, get this, Sean, quadrilingual.
Whoa. What do we got? We got English, Spanish. What else we got in there, Andres?
French and Portuguese.
What?
Dude, dropping the mic. Okay, back to you, Vivian.
He's also the host of a podcast called Frecuencia de Abundancia, Frequency of Abundance. His mission is to help others, especially the Spanish population, achieve their goals through self-mastery. And he would know, for he's the first person in his family to make it to and study in the US from Puerto Rico. But then at 23, he started several businesses and lost them all. And that's when he discovered and worked closely with Bob Proctor's team. And inspired by his wisdom of his teachings of the mind and universal laws, he decided to go into coaching himself. Today, he coaches hundreds of people all over the world and shares how to grab control of your life, elevate your consciousness, and manifest your dream life. Welcome, Andres Rivera.
Andres, that's a lot you're up to, brother. Welcome, and long time no talk. And what's a quick fun fact?
I'd say I have, so I grew up with 5 brothers on the same house. So all boys. It was fun growing up, different age groups, and I'm right in the middle.
5 hermanos en la casa, Vivian. See?
Wow. Yes. I see that.
Yeah. So that's about the end of my Spanish. Thank you very much. And let's do the real raw for today. Vivian. Yes, everybody should have Vivian traveling the world with them. Speaking of traveling the world, my fun fact is, hey, I'm Sean Callaghan. We'll talk about the superpower of influence. I have the unique privilege of hanging out at Hotel Del today and just seeing the beautiful ocean in the background. So a little bit of Pacific. And my fun fact is yesterday, I had a surf off with one of my dear friends and folks in this amazing program, Craig Klingman, who I crushed surfing, even though I'm blind, because I'm a blind surfer. And I crushed Craig in New Jersey. And so I was ready to crush Craig again in these Pacific Ocean waves. And yesterday, Vivian, Andres, Captain Marvel, and company, I got beaten up by these waves out there and Craig. So we are 1-1, home and home. We're going to have the tiebreaker coming shortly in the surf off of the Unblinded Elite. So that's what's coming, Vivian.
What?
Yes. So we had probably about 5 foot waves, about 4.7 to 5 foot. For those that don't surf, you would look at those and go, oh my God, those are 10 foot waves. That's what you'd be saying. In surfing lingo, they were gigantic, explosive, and completely crazy. I got my head a little bit, and I did not have a great day in the waves yesterday, but I'll be back in the waves later today. So thank you, Vivian. Amazing job. Andres, are you ready to drop in with Captain Marvel, Diana, and Jason?
Ready.
All right. I think these fine folks understand the drill. So let's drop in like it's speed, and let's go this way, and some of the judges will catch up because they'll be assessing essentially like the openness and depth of the connection. But Diana, would you be so courageous and brave, since you're a superhero in the first place, to lead us in and go first today?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you.
No,
Andres.
thank you.
Yes, can you remind me just briefly what is my accomplishment? Like what am I accomplishing right now?
Of course, for sure. So you're taking Andres from hello to yes, because everything begins after yes. Like IPOs go, people get on big stages in Phoenix. Great things happen for people after yes. So how do we take people integriously, authentically, heart-centeredly from hello to yes? So Andres could be an ideal client avatar, Diana. He could be any human you want him to be in the world. What's a yes that your heart, your soul is seeking in the world? Andres could be that avatar or that person, whether it be a client, an ecosystem partner, a giant stage. Perhaps it's just somebody that's walking by in the middle of street performing in the world. Whoever you would want, that's who Andres would be. And so who would you like Andres to be, Diana?
Great, understood. I would like Andres to be an influencer, somebody that has an impact already in North America, maybe in Europe, and has not yet reached the Latino population, so needs me to do that and my super team. So,
do you know anybody like that? But okay, so Andres, you got it?
Yes, I got it.
All right, brother. 3 minutes is the first round, Diana, and you don't need a yes in the first round. It's just connecting, opening, listening. There'll be a second round of 3 minutes where you'll go from hello to yes. Sound good?
Great. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. Take us in.
Hi, Andres. How are you?
Hi, Diana. Doing great. How are you today?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking my call. And I appreciate our common friend, Sean, that gave me your information. So kind of you. I know you're short on time, so I won't take too much of it.
Thank you. No, I'm excited.
Great. Yeah, well, first of all, I heard so much about you from Sean. And I want to say I'm very impressed about the impact that you're already having with your work, your wonderful contribution in the world, the presence that you bring to the stages every time you're on it. And I'm very impressed to know that you're one of Tony's Platinum partners, and the impact that you guys are doing together is just tremendous. So I want to say thank you in advance for all the goodness that you're doing in the world.
Wow. Wow, what a wonderful way to be received and talk for the first time. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. May I ask you, why do you do what you do? Like what inspires you?
Yes, and thank you for asking. It's a love for people, you know, and it's more than myself. And at first it wasn't like that. At first it was all about me and what I wanted, and you know, as I stepped into life happened for me, and it showed me more. There's a bigger impact to why I'm here on this earth. And that's all I think about every single, like, that's my reason to wake up in the morning, is to give my best to people and help people create the life of their dreams.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I totally feel the love that you bring into what you do. And it's obviously way more than the numbers of the people that follow you. I always knew there was something there, but what you just gave me, if I heard you correctly, is that it gives you, the man, a reason to get up in the morning, and that's just so inspiring. Wow, thank you.
Yes, yeah, it's my why. It speaks to my purpose and my contribution to society as a whole.
That's so amazing. And can I ask you, just for fun, because I know we have a little time, but I'm curious, where do you see yourself going with this? Like, how, if you could have it your own way and everything would open up the way you want to, and everybody would say, yes, I want more of Andres in the world, like where would you go from here? It seems like you already have so much done.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I like to think that I'm only, you know, 5% there, and I have a whole lot more people to impact and help. So right now, where I'm at is mainly working in the U.S. and working with the English-speaking population. But I want to get into Latin America. You know, I want to get into South America. I know that I have friends, family, myself, that are from there, and I can see the impact that I can create as I get there. But there's language barrier. You know, there's ultimately just difficulties, and I want to expand to a point where I'm all over the world. You know, and people with not just English can understand me, but every language. You know, and remove any barriers that can be in between. So I want to get worldwide. You know, like I said, there's millions, billions of people on this planet, and I know I'm not going to do it alone. But that's, if I could have it all my way, I want to get to millions and millions of people.
Yeah, Andres, you got a quick phone call. Diana, Andres will be right back. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, Diana. How'd that feel for you?
It felt good. I felt good. I felt connected to my heart. I felt in my body, and I was asking questions, and I wanted to know more about him. So I appreciate any feedback. Of course, I felt good.
Awesome job, Andres. How'd that feel for you?
It felt very natural. It felt that she framed it very well for me to really step into my heart and tell her my why I do what I do. So it felt direct to my heart.
Awesome, brother. Excellent. So, Jason, are you ready, sir?
Born ready, baby.
I know you are.
Oh, are you there?
Yep. Do you have me or no?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It just has very bad Wi-Fi in this building, but I'm here. Yeah. I can hear you.
Who would you like Andres to be?
I'd like Andres to be Andres.
Boom. Let's take us in.
Wow, but
3 minutes, round one.
and everything. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So Jason, take us in.
Okay, got it. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Todo bien, Jason. How are you?
Solo pregunta. ¿Dónde has estado toda mi vida?
Wow.
That's it. That's all my Spanish. That's it right there.
Well, hey, that's a question that I can get you to places, my friend.
That's right. That's right. That's what I thought. Look, I was introduced to you, told that I should connect with you from a good friend of ours, mutual friend, Sean Callaghy. And he just told me so many fantastic things about you. And I just wanted to reach out, make a connection, and see if there was a way that we could support each other as we move forward.
Well, any friend of Sean is a friend of mine, so pleasure to connect. Yeah,
that's awesome.
What do you have in mind? Yeah.
Well, first thing, I heard you had a big family, five brothers. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that growing up?
It was fun. It was fun. It was. I don't think it was that fun for my mother.
Right.
I guess we were just a ruckus growing up, but it was fun. It was really exciting, to be honest. There was always something to do at the house.
Yeah, big family. Well, that was interesting to me, and I just wanted to know the story that I heard about you was that you really overcame great odds, that you fought really hard, that you have a heart for service for other people, and I really just wanted to connect with you and to see what you have going on in the world, and tell me a little bit about your business.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, it was. It definitely was through adversity that I stepped into what I'm doing today. And I see it as a blessing, to be honest. When it comes to what I'm doing today, so I'm hosting a podcast. I started a podcast about a year or so ago. Now I'm interviewing leaders of impact. So ultimately, it's all in Spanish. So I'm wanting to get my work through all of Latin America, impact 483 million people in the Hispanic community worldwide, and that's where I'm headed. So it's a combination of creating programs so I can multiply myself, and then creating strategic alliances with people that can help me, because it's not about me, it's about the collective, and it's about helping each other grow. So yeah.
Well, that sounds exactly in alignment. I can see why Sean wanted us to meet. You seem like an amazing guy. I know your time is short today, so all I'd really like to do is just schedule a time when we could get back together and really flesh out what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think I don't. Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing. I think I have a few minutes later today, and we can reconnect.
I'd love that very, very much. I know you're a busy guy, and as am I, and I just would love to connect. So I'll get back with you, and we'll set up a time to get back together this afternoon. Looking forward to it, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome job, Jason. How'd that feel for you?
Really good. Really good. It's interesting because I'm not in this position a lot, right? Which is but it's natural. Like one of the things that it's easy to do with somebody like Andres is to connect. You can see his heart. You can see through his smile, through his eyes. You can see that he's a very, very loving person who's working hard to make the world a better place. So that was easy for me. He made it easy.
Awesome, brother. All right. Thank you so much, Jason. Let's hit it with our amazing judges. So Victoria, what 30 seconds of feedback do you have for Diana? And then we'll get to 30 seconds of feedback for Jason. So what worked well with Diana, and what could be optimized?
Great. Well, it's so hard because they both did so well. I have great feedback for Diana. Really warm energy. You have such a beautiful smile, and just talking with you just brought me, just watching you, to a calm. I loved how you touched on commonality, and you really acknowledged him for his impact, which I think always brings someone to a heartfelt place when they're acknowledged. Great approach with asking the questions, and loved how you had this benevolent curiosity about him, which really, really shined through. I liked the pauses that you gave, and you really recreated him well, which I think brought him, felt like you were listening. And I liked how you pushed him to see more of the possibility, like what could be possible. And you were really present and calm. And I can really tell that you were in your heart. Honestly, you did really great. I think you did awesome. It just seems so natural. And yeah, that's my feedback.
Awesome. And what'd you have for Jason?
Jason, wow, such a fun personality. Just the way that you started off, fun energy, but also really grounded. So that was really interesting and fun to see. You acknowledged him and also shared about your connection that you have together. I like that. And you really touched him personally with family stuff, right? I think that going there is important. And then you brought him back to where he first started, which, you know, the adversity piece of it, the struggle, which I actually think is really great and masterful and just heartfelt, because it brings someone back to really what their why is and where they began. I would have loved, if you had some more time, because you will, to touch a little bit more on some of the details that he gave you. I think that there were so many rich nuggets there, and I would have loved to see you connect with him a little bit more on those. But honestly, you did so great. It was awesome. Also looked super natural.
Thank you for that feedback. Thank you.
What'd you have for scores, Victoria?
I'm so bad with scores, Sean. Diana, you 8.7, and Jason 8.7.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Michelle, what 30 seconds do you have? What worked? What could be optimized with what Diana did, please?
Okay, awesome. Diana, you did such a nice job. I really kind of categorized yours as helping him create connection to himself. In your layers of conversation and questioning, it was really why focused for him and where he's going. You created connection to himself by going over his pleasure, his, you know, what you heard about him, his accomplishments. And then when you asked what inspires you got him to talk more, which is like, you know, sales, you know, like get him to talk more than you. And you really got him really deep into his heart with that conversation. And then your follow-up question, I didn't write down exactly what it was, but your follow-up question and exactly how he sees himself in the world, you allowed him to self-identify his gap, which seems to be such an easy segue for you. And then, right, like he self-identified the gap, you didn't do it for him. So to go into that as your last piece of that conversation was really kind of cool to watch. So
awesome.
So I think, and then what was that?
And what was the score for Diana?
Oh my gosh, I'm 8.
And for Jason?
And for Jason, I categorized him as connection through rapport. So I saw that right off the bat, Jason, you were connecting with him on commonalities and just got him laughing. Actually, that was the first thing with having the speaking Spanish. I have no idea what you said, but the two of you were having a good time. And then having him talk about his what. So I saw that you were having him talk about his what. What does he do? What's he interested in? You know, his adversity, the podcast. I wrote down, you know, everything that he's working on right now. And then genius to go, okay, I know you only have a few minutes, and then end the meeting with another meeting. So you had an opportunity to take it to the next level. So, and got him to say yes. So that was awesome in such a short amount of time to be able to build that rapport.
And what'd you have for a score, Michelle? Thank you.
I'm gonna give him like an 8.5 only because he already booked another meeting.
All right, excellent. Michael, I think you know a thing or two about Hello to Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little more technical.
So drop in, brother.
I'm not big on the fluff, so to speak.
You're a straight line selling advocate, proponent, teacher,
I think, right, you got to develop that like, which they both did, right? The like is where you kind of meet in that commonality where you could talk away from the sale, correct? And so I just thought Diana was telling him what he did. He repeated it. She repeated it back. I thought that was a lot of waste of time personally. Final question, when she asked the personal question, I thought that was a pretty good question. And then she kind of left it hanging at the end. Where Jason threw that Spanish in at the beginning, great icebreaker, works well, allows the other guy to get his defenses down, because now you have some commonality immediately without having to really go into detail. Ask something about the brothers, which you could have asked it in a little different way, I guess, and then went right into it. The only thing I thought he could have asked more is when he said, I'm working on some programs. Gee, what are those programs? Don't be afraid to cut in sometimes when they're giving you an answer, to be a little more specific, because people want to talk about themselves, right? Everybody loves talking about themselves. And, just like one of the other judges said, you want to let them talk, but you got to know when to steer them to where you want them to go. And so the more information you get out of somebody, like what programs did he really want to, fully bring to maturation, would be really where you want to focus. And the other thing that really drives me crazy, and when I thought he did best of the two jobs, but when he called him brother, right? Those colloquial slangs are never good. But other than that, I give Jason, 7.5. I gave Diana a 7.
All right, Michael, thank you so much. We're going to have round 2 and see what happens from here. Andres, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Jason, Andres is back. He's ready for the second conversation. Are you ready? You are born ready. So let's take us in, sir. 3 minutes.
You're muted, Jason.
Good thing I was muted because I called you brother.
So take us in. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for taking the second call, Andres. It was really great talking to you earlier. One of the things that we didn't get a chance to really expound upon is what it is you're actually trying to achieve. You said the podcast, and I know you're growing your brand and your business, but what is it that what is the outcome you're trying to achieve?
Oh, great question. I guess, well, with the podcast, if we're being specific there, I want to increase my audience size. So right now it's about 150 people that are listening to me on a monthly basis. And that's been growing over the last month. Last month alone was 40 people. So I'm doing something right, but I want to get that to millions. I want to get that to millions, ultimately create a way to filter people and give people access to my courses, and ultimately get more people to work with me. I get to impact, I get to multiply myself, and the world is a beautiful place.
So how does that make you money?
Well, through the courses. So it's ultimately the courses are not free. Like they have their price, and ultimately it's leading people to that, having the podcast be as my credibility, having people get to know me through that and establish that connection with them, ultimately leading them into clients. And once they're clients, I know they'll fall in love with me, and I'll give them everything that I've got, and that'll transcend into more people.
Love that. And here's what I find in a lot in the business world is that we start out, we say that we want, more listeners. We want these things. I was a victim of that myself in my own businesses, where I thought popularity meant that I could make money. And what I found was that the more that I was looking for popularity, the more broke I was. And have you found that? Have you found that to be true in your own business?
Well, I guess when I think of increasing my audience, it's not really a matter of popularity. Like, I don't really want to be like known by everybody. I want to, that's naturally going to happen, but I want it for it to be an impact. Like, if I'm not helping you, if you just like listening to me, like, I don't want that. I want, if you're listening to me, it's about taking my message and utilizing and acting upon it so you can change your life. That's what I care about. So ultimately, that's how it transitions in my message.
I love that. Well, did I hear 30 seconds?
Yes, sir.
That I had? Okay, got it. So, all right, excellent. Well, it sounds to me like you have a tiger by the tail. You're very, very personable. You're looking to change the world in a crazy way. One of the things that we do is we help people actually find this thing called freedom, right? No matter what business owner that we talk to or that we run into, they're actually looking for this thing called freedom. And I'd love to get together with you and chat about this a little bit more, because defining that is going to help you define your business, and then you'll know exactly the steps to be able to get to your desired outcomes. Does that sound like something you'd like to break bread over? Maybe grab a lunch?
Yeah. Yes, I would love that. Yeah, you're curious. I want to get to know more about you and what you're up to. So yes, let's set up a time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andres.
Yeah.
Great job, Jason. How'd that feel for you, brother?
A little wonky, because it's just a little out of sequence. I really do want to know more about Andres and about how I can bridge that gap. I know that there's a lot more questions that I would like to have time to ask to be able to create that rapport. And I felt like about halfway through, I broke that rapport just a little bit, and then have to rebuild that back up. So I felt like that one was a little bit rougher than the first section.
All right. I think you did a great job. Thank you, Jason. Diana, ready?
Ready. My heart is pounding, so forgive me if I get nervous.
We can hear and feel your heart pounding from here. Let's take us in.
Andres, thank you so much for giving us a second call. I appreciate your time greatly. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was looking forward to reconnect with you again.
Lovely. Thank you. Same here. So if I can pick it up where we left it, you were saying to me that you want to increase your impact with the Latino population and the Hispanics. And actually you said, I want to go worldwide, right? You said worldwide. Did you? Wow. That's a really great goal to have. I love that. I seriously love that. And it's in perfect alignment with what I do. And it's just not only me, but a team of people that I am part of and I represent. So would it be okay that I share with you a little bit about what I do?
Please do.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So I am at cause at leadership. I am a leader. I am an impact machine. I'm an influencer influencing influencers. And I have the gift to be part of this amazing community of people called Unblinded, where we are accelerating people's money, magic in way less time by reducing friction, by introducing them to their true potential and understanding where are they in this self-mastery program that is life, right? Life as an opportunity to excel at whatever it is you want to do. So what I realized as I hear you is that, oh my God, we are doing what you want to do already. We are learning ourselves how to increase our impact in our personal lives, improve our communication with ourselves, with our children, with our families, and take that into the business life. So we come from all over different industries, from real estate to law, to body healing and personal development. And it's all about what makes us human and how can we get better at being human. So I realized that part of what we do, how does it sound so far? Am I making any sense to you?
Yes, I mean you're making perfect sense. And what I hear is team. I hear community. So it's something that appeals to my interest.
Amazing. And really what I would love is that we get a little more time to talk, because I know you're short on time and so am I. I would love to talk to you and maybe your team or whoever works with you and give you more information about how do I see us working together, because I imagine that we can accelerate your impact, but also allow you to have way more fun as you do it. So it's not a challenge, but it's really an opportunity to enjoy what you're already doing, free up more time, and get together with like-minded leaders, because we're influencers. That's why we find each other. And I want to thank Sean also for introducing us. So we'll do that next. Do you want to have another chat and learn some more?
I would love to, because the fun part is a need. Like, it's just necessary for growth, and I feel like that I'm missing that sometimes. So yes, I would love to have more another conversation.
Awesome. I'll send you my calendar, or you send me yours, and we'll book it for soon. Okay, next week while the calls are hot. Is that okay?
Excellent. Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Diana, great job. Great energy, great congruence. Andres, how do you see, that round, just quick feel with the Jason connection, Diana connection, where were you?
So I want to continue. Obviously, like outside of this, I talk to Diana a lot. So, but if I didn't, I would love to explore that conversation because it sounds like she wants to help me, and I could feel that it wasn't at all. It didn't feel at all that it was about her. I felt the same with Jason. With Jason though, it was there was some assumptions were made. And that's totally normal. It happens to all of us. Like you assume certain things or time crunches. But either way, that didn't take away the curiosity that he has and how he expresses himself and the fun with him. So I also felt that he had my best interest in mind. So I would feel strongly about having another conversation with him as well.
Awesome, brother. Okay, let's see what Michelle. What do you have as feedback for Jason, please, first?
Awesome. So Jason, you actually had some really good self-reflection there. And what I noticed is I agree that there was a point where you broke rapport, and I think you mentioned the assumptions, but you were quick to recognize that. And instead of explain yourself or get defensive, you just kind of switch gears and almost like change the state of the conversation and move that forward, and was still able to keep his interest in your mutual relationship. So that was really awesome. And let's see, he did, you did talk to him about freedom, which is interesting to me because it wasn't something that he brought up, but I also watched his body language. It's kind of like that really piqued his interest. So I don't know how you connected the dots to make that happen, but I watched his interest gain when you said that. So
awesome. And what'd you have for a score?
It was a little less than last time, so I'm gonna go with a 7.
Okay, and how about for Diana, Michelle?
So for Diana, you did a really nice job with keeping the connection and rapport. I could tell that you were a little bit more nervous this round. And because in the first round you did a little bit more of getting him to talk, and in this round there was more of you talking. And then there was a moment when you realized it and said, am I making any sense? and then you like recovered from there. But there was a natural dynamic between the two of you, connection. I don't know if that's because you know each other, or if that's just because of the way that you flowed with your conversation, but it really felt natural. And I agreed with Andres that you really wanted to serve him, and that showed through.
And so what'd you have for score, Michelle?
So I'm going to go with a 7.5 for Diana.
Nice. Yeah, excellent. Michael, what do you have, for Diana and for Jason? 30 seconds.
For Diana, I just thought, she seemed nervous. She talked way too much, and she wasn't saying anything. She was kind of rambling that first half. And then she asked the question, am I making any sense? Because she probably understood to herself that she wasn't making any sense. So I didn't think it was that good. I think, Andres, because of the familiarity, kind of let it along. I thought Jason started off really well. He asked the right questions. He just didn't get any answers. I still don't know what the program Andres has. He asked the question, Andres didn't answer it. He should ask, to define it, but I still don't know what the program is. There are no specifics. I thought he did a little better than Diana, but both of them need work.
Right. Well, and what scores?
I gave Jason a 5 and Diana a 4.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
I know it's low, but
listen, thank you for your courage and vulnerability, Diana. Thank you for your courage and vulnerability, Jason, and for Michael. So it takes a lot to put yourself out there on both sides of this. And
I agree.
Yeah, Michael, you're speaking your truth, and that takes courage. And so thank you for that. Thank you. Victoria.
Yes, I just want to say, Jason, Diana, this is such a learning experience. So yes, thank you for your courage and being contestants. For Diana, I loved how you touched on his exact words in the last conversation that you had. It just shows when you do that you remember, and I think that it's great. You talked a ton. I know you said that you were, your heart was pounding before you started, but in talking a ton, you also were trying to describe the program, right, and the approach. And there was a lot of words there. And I think finding a way to share about the approach that you would like to take with him in a way that's concise and leaving him wanting to know more. So I love that it was about him, but I also have to work on concision and just finding the right words to express exactly what it is that you want to say, and get there quicker. And I love that you closed a call, and touching base with him at a later time was also good. Obviously, you're very likable and you have a very natural way. So I would want to talk to you too. So I give you an 8 this time around. And then, Jason, really great question starting off, Jason. That was really great. Again, like everybody else said, and I actually relate to this as well, the assumption that getting in touch with a greater audience equals wanting to be popular. I think that when we see certain people in business or our clients doing the same thing over and over, we're quick to make that assessment. And even though maybe you were right, there is a different way of maybe getting to a place where he can share that with you, or you can share that with him, but in a way where it doesn't sound like an assumption. Also, I really wanted to know what you can do for him, and find a way to weave that in a little bit quicker. And then, of course, you closed with, an offer to speak, which was great. And that's my feedback. And the score was also an 8.
All right. Thank you, guys. And as we're getting ready to round it down, Diana, can we jump into a quick role play?
Absolutely. Thank you. Please.
Yeah. So how about I be you? And you could be, who would you like to be? Let's have another woman version of Andres. So actually, you be Andres. So I'll be you and you're Andres. Sound good?
Right.
All right. So awesome. So Andres, thanks so much for taking the call today. Really appreciate it. And I don't want to take a ton of your time. I know you have 3 minutes. So we'll get to it. Andres, I've seen you speak. I've seen that you're out there in the world doing a lot of incredible things and running a podcast. Can I ask you this? Why are you running the podcast? And obviously, I would think it's to make impact, but also to create clients and build relationships. But what's going on here? What are you up to?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. This is exactly why I want to create relationships. I want to share my knowledge. I want to tell people that they can do it and show them how, so they can take action and see the results.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I'm just curious though, why? So I'm hearing you want people to take action, create results, but why do you care and what's at stake for you?
Yeah, thank you. Well, growing up, I had a lot of struggle and I overcame it. And maybe you don't know, I was the first one to study big time, follow my dreams, in my family. And then I failed. I also failed in my businesses and I found my way up. And as I recovered my integrity and my business success, and I found the way out, I recognize great value in that. So as I share with more people and I allow more people to understand that they can do it too, that gives me meaning.
Awesome. So I'm hearing your heart, I'm hearing your impact for sure. And how's it all going so far? The building, I see the podcast. I know you're out there speaking, doing a bunch, but how's all that going for you?
It's good. It's going well. It's growing. It's maybe grown, at a rate that is good, but I would definitely love more impact, more bigger audience, more clients for sure.
Wow. Okay. So seems like what I'm hearing is seems like things are going well, but there's still a gap that's meaningful to you and how much faster you want it to go. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I shared just in the final minute a little bit about myself.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, hey, my name is Diana. And the work that I do is I help people create acceleration in their business. And I've studied programs from all over the world, have an unbelievably diverse background in performing, building a relationship, the study of how human beings go from hello to yes, including just in body language, tonality, words used. This is what I've been studying for more than a decade in my life, because my mission is to help people create acceleration. And what I've done is I've come to work with an organization called Unblinded, and that's what this entire organization does. And what I know it's our final 10 seconds, what I love to do, Andres, is to set up a time to talk about it. Because if I don't prove to you in 30 minutes that this is the most powerful technology from going from hello to yes, which is anything and everything about how your business grows, not only from a sales meeting, but how you create sales meetings, how you leverage and make things grow more rapidly, how you build your team, that's what's at stake in play for everybody to have more money in less time with more magic. So how does that resonate for you? And would you like to set up a time?
Yeah, that sounds exciting. That sounds exactly like what I need and I could use right now. Yes, when?
All right, awesome. So how did that feel for you, Diana?
Amazing. It felt really clear, Sean, and thank you, because I learned a lot about my own second round and how you choose powerful words and put them in the right order, and they convey meaning, but also the curiosity to learn more all at once.
Yeah. And Michael, I'd be interested and appreciate your feedback. How did that work for you? I know you have a very
well, you did. I thought it was good. I thought you obviously you've done this before, so you had it perfectly staged. You knew what you were going to say. You explained exactly what it was you wanted to do, which none of them did before. So you laid it out so people understand what you're offering to help them, right? What is your value added to the situation? I mean, I still don't know what Andres is offering, but now I know what you're offering.
Yeah.
See, so yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
All right. Could I get on the phones at Stratton back in the day? Would I make the cut? I'm teasing. Listen, I love you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I thought you did great. I think you could have made a lot of money back
there. So listen, I appreciate you a ton. And if Michael, I'd love to have you back. I'd love for you to be a participant someday.
Sure.
How was today for you?
Today was fine. I got the gist of it. I understand how it works. I don't want to step on, hurt anybody's feelings. If I could help anybody, here's a interesting fact that I didn't realize before. I ran the Sunset Island music radio show. We were actually the #1 unsigned band radio show on the internet and on terrestrial. We had over 1 million weekly listeners.
Wow.
Yeah, we grew pretty quick. We got deals with Gibson guitar and Shure microphone. And
dude, that's amazing.
We took over the Gibson Theater in New York, in Manhattan, 53rd Street.
I am not confused that you know something about going from hello to yes, Michael. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Please, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, you just got to know yourself. You got to know what you're selling. But more importantly, you got to know what the other people are selling and what they want. Asking a negative question is a very bad thing. I enjoyed this type of workshop.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back. Thank you so much.
Just let me know when you need me. I'm here.
Thank you, sir.
And if I can help anybody out there or anything, let me know.
Yeah, Michael, feel free to drop your info in the chat for sure. So that's what we're here to do is let people
chat.
You know what? Just say it out loud. So how would people find you, Michael?
You could always email me at Main Street 1958 at AOL.com. Michael at newrockspirits.com. That's a new little spirits company we started. And I'm actually coming to Central America. We're buying a casino and resort in Costa Rica. So
I have a feeling that might be a fun and interesting place to visit. So yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be a ball, I'll tell you that. But yeah, if anybody ever needs my advice, like I said, I wrote a few books in this, and I enjoy talking about and teaching and letting people know how to grow their business and expand their business. And ultimately, if you do what you like and you grow it right, the money will come. Just don't concentrate on making money. Concentrate on the business at hand and what you could do for other people. And the money comes.
Well, thank you, Michael. Great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, Michelle, thank you so much for being here. Hope today served you.
Absolutely. And I was gonna make a comment. I was gonna say, you had to get some Midwest on here to go against the New York guy, like a little yin and yang here.
I do. I love that vibe and I love that feel. And Michelle, really appreciate you and look forward to talking to you more.
Thank you.
Thank you. Victoria, thank you for jumping in. How was today for you?
Thank you. It was super fun. Anytime I do this, I learn, and it was great. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Jason, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for dropping in. I hope your event goes incredibly well out there in Phoenix.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Thanks for having me, and really appreciated everybody's feedback and love Michael type feedback. Like
Yeah.
that's what I've grown up on. I love that kind of feedback.
Jason, will you ever watch Wolf of Wall Street the same way after today?
I'll watch it again, with just as much interest and passion as I have in the past.
Also, just I don't know if you've seen Boiler Room.
Yes.
Mhm.
That was same firm, just from different angles. And actually, in Boiler Room, some of the lines that I wrote for the firm are in that movie. So
Nice.
Michael, could you tell us one, Michael?
One of the lines where
coffee's for closers.
Huh?
Coffee's for closers. Is that your line?
Oh no, that's Glenn Ross. That's a great movie.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
But E.F. Hutton. You remember E.F. Hutton, correct?
Yes.
Of course you do. When they talk, people listen. Unfortunately, they went out of business. Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to work on my pricing and timing, well, then you might as well be like E.F. Hutton and go out of business. That's why I'm letting you know we put $25,000 into this idea. Voice inflection, speed, the whole 9 yards.
I remember that Vin Diesel said that. Is that right?
I think it was Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
A while since I've seen the movie.
I think it was Vin Diesel that said that line. So very cool. Diana, how was today for you?
It was amazing. I learned a lot. I appreciate everybody's feedback. And it was a really fun surprise for me to play Andres. I didn't know he was going to be here. Mm-hmm. And just always learn so much from you, Sean. And the opportunity of the Real Raw, I think, is one of the most brilliant innovations of the last decade or century. I don't even know. We don't have scale to see this yet. But the impact we're making on people's lives by being a judge, by being a contestant, the vulnerability and the safe space as we learn about ourselves in the context of what we do in life is just amazing. So I'm so grateful to be part of this. I love you all.
Love you too, and thank you so much. Andres, take us home, brother. Final.
Well, as a role player, it's fun to come in here and play, and act it out and just really be. And so it's a pleasure to officially have been on as a judge, as a participant, and now as a role player. And tomorrow I'll be hosting the Real Raw Open. So that's gonna be
what's the name of your podcast?
Awesome. It's called Frecuencia de Abundancia.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Andres, I can't wait till tomorrow, brother. Everybody, we're all just blind and just learn to see.